Everything you've been told about how the world works is incomplete. You've been taught to see yourself as a separate being, confined to your body, shaped by your past, limited by your surroundings. But what if that was the biggest illusion of all? What if the separation between you and everything else never actually existed? Right now, there's something happening all around you, within you, beneath the surface of your thoughts. A silent, invisible force that connects every person, every place, every moment in time. And once you understand it, not just intellectually, but energetically, your entire experience of life begins to shift. The chaos, the uncertainty, the feeling that things are out of your control. It all starts to dissolve, because this hidden connection reveals something deeper. You are not a passive observer of the universe. You are a participant in its design. And the moment you realize how deeply you're entangled with everything, a new kind of power unlocks from within. A power that's been quietly waiting for you to wake up. This isn't philosophy. It's not spirituality in the vague sense. It's physics. Quantum physics, to be exact. The most cutting-edge science of our time is showing us something that mystics and ancient traditions have whispered about for thousands of years, that we are all connected by an invisible web, beyond time, beyond space, beyond logic. The phenomenon is called quantum entanglement, and it's so strange, so counterintuitive, that even Einstein resisted it. He called it spooky action at a distance. But decades of research and countless peer-reviewed experiments have now confirmed it. When two particles become entangled, no matter how far apart they are, even light years away, changing one instantly affects the other, not through a signal, not through any detectable force. It just happens, as if they are still one, even while appearing separate. Now you might think, that's fascinating, but what does it have to do with me? Everything. Because you are made of particles. Your body, your brain, your thoughts, every single part of you is composed of quantum matter. So if the building blocks of your being are governed by this strange, interconnected reality, then why would you think you're not? Why would you believe your mind is isolated, that your feelings are contained, or that your desires don't reach beyond your skin? The truth is, your entire existence is wired into a larger field, a matrix of information and energy that links you to all that is, was, and will be. And here's the twist most people miss. It's not just the world affecting you. You are affecting the world. Constantly, silently, powerfully. Let's go even deeper. Scientists used to believe that your thoughts were just private electrical firings inside your head. But recent discoveries challenge that idea completely. Studies now show that your brain and your heart emit electromagnetic waves that extend far beyond your body. The HeartMath Institute, for example, has proven that the heart generates a field several feet wide that can influence not only your own body's state, but also the people around you. Emotions, thoughts, intentions, they're not locked inside your brain. They are energy. And energy, according to physics, can never be destroyed, only transformed. Which means that every thought you've ever had, every emotion you've ever felt, has left a ripple in the quantum field. That ripple doesn't vanish, it echoes. So think about it. If you've spent years feeling anxious, defeated, or afraid, that emotional frequency didn't just stay inside you. It became a vibration in the space around you. And here's where quantum entanglement makes everything even more fascinating. Those emotional energies don't just drift into nothingness. They interact. They entangle. They create patterns. If the particles within you can remain connected across vast distances, it means your inner world is not just personal. It's participatory. Every thought, every feeling is a signal being sent out into the quantum web, and the universe responds to those signals in kind. This is why some people seem to live in a constant stream of synchronicity, Right place, right time, doors opening effortlessly, while others struggle against invisible walls. It's not that one person is lucky and the other cursed. It's that their inner energy is entangled with very different parts of the field. When you carry fear, shame, or lack deep in your subconscious, your energetic signature resonates with experiences that match that vibration, not as punishment, just as feedback. The universe reflects the frequency you most consistently broadcast. But here's where the power lies. You can change your signal. You can retune the vibration you're sending out into the field. And once you do that, you don't have to chase success or force results. Your external reality begins to shift on its own, matching the new energy you've created from within. That's the hidden potential of mastering quantum entanglement, not understanding it as a theory, but embodying it as a truth. When you grasp that your inner world and the outer world are already entangled, you realize you don't need to fight your way through life. You need only to align. And that alignment begins with awareness. Because the moment you stop seeing your thoughts as private, isolated noise, and instead recognize them as active forces in the quantum field, you begin to treat them differently. You become more conscious of what you feel, what you dwell on, what you allow to grow inside your mind. Your thoughts are not meaningless. They're not confined to your head. They are electromagnetic instructions being sent into a field that is listening, recording, and responding. This is not metaphor. This is measurable. And when you truly realize it, you stop being a victim of chance and start becoming a deliberate creator of your own reality. Now ask yourself, what frequency have I been living on? What emotions have I allowed to take root? What beliefs am I still broadcasting without realizing it? Because once you start observing this, everything changes. You become more than just a mind trapped in a body. You become a conscious emitter, a frequency generator, sending ripples through space and time that shape your experience in ways you've only begun to imagine. This is the power of quantum entanglement. This is the gateway to unlocking the hidden energy inside you. And once you tune in, you begin to realize something even deeper, something most people never discover. That the real transmitter of this energy, the real source of your vibration, isn't your conscious mind. It's your subconscious, the part of you that operates silently in the background, shaping your thoughts, your choices, your behavior, and your reality. You see, your conscious mind, the part you're aware of, only accounts for about 5% of your daily function. It's the part that plans, analyzes, and sets goals. But the subconscious, that's the 95% that actually runs the show. It controls your emotional responses, your habits, your instinctual behaviors, and most importantly, it's what sends out the dominant signal into the quantum field. Your subconscious isn't logical. It doesn't understand language the way you think it does. It doesn't respond to the words you say. It responds to repetition, emotion, imagery, and experience. If you've ever said, "I want to be rich," while deep down still feeling poor, insecure, or undeserving, then guess which signal your subconscious is actually sending out. Not the words, not the intention, but the emotion. And because emotion is the coding language of the quantum field, that's the energy that shapes your reality. This is why people struggle with manifestation. They consciously affirm what they want, but subconsciously vibrate with what they fear. The field listens to the stronger signal. And the subconscious always wins. What's even more astonishing is how early this programming begins. From birth to around age 7, your brain is in a highly suggestible state, operating mostly in theta waves. This is the same frequency range as hypnosis. In that time, you absorb beliefs, emotions, and patterns from your environment without questioning them. If your parents fought over money, if they told you that success is for other people, if you saw them constantly worrying or living in fear, you absorbed all of that, not as opinions, but as truth. Those early impressions became your subconscious blueprint. And that blueprint is what your mind has been projecting into the quantum field ever since. So now, as an adult, even if you logically believe in abundance, in love, in potential, you might still feel stuck. You might take action and make changes, yet somehow find yourself looping back into the same situations, the same relationships, the same financial patterns, the same emotional walls. And it's not because you're broken or weak. It's because your subconscious is still vibrating with the programming of your past. You're trying to build a new reality with an old frequency. And until that changes, nothing else can. The field doesn't care what you wish for. It responds to who you are energetically, beneath the surface. But this is where your real power begins to emerge. Because once you become aware of this subconscious programming, you can begin to rewrite it. And when you do, everything starts to shift. Not slowly, not subtly, but dramatically. Because now, instead of broadcasting doubt or limitation, your energy starts aligning with expansion, with clarity, with power. And that alignment creates a ripple effect. The external world begins to mirror your internal transformation. Opportunities appear, solutions unfold. People who match your new energy start showing up, while the ones tied to your old patterns begin to fade. This isn't magic. It's quantum mechanics in motion, filtered through your subconscious mind. And the fuel that drives this change, the ignition key for all of it, is emotion. Emotion is the bridge between your thoughts and the field. It's what tells the universe what you truly believe. A thought without feeling is like a whisper in a thunderstorm. But a thought charged with emotion, especially with deep, resonant emotion, becomes a signal strong enough to reshape your entire experience. That's why memories stick when they're emotional. That's why trauma imprints so deeply. Because the more emotion something carries, the more powerfully it's encoded into the subconscious, and the more strongly it vibrates out into reality. So now you have to ask, what emotional energy have you been living in? Fear, guilt, regret? If so, your vibration has been tuned to attract more of the same, not as punishment, but as reflection. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. The good news is, this works both ways. When you begin to embody higher emotions, gratitude, love, confidence, peace, those become your dominant frequency. And the universe begins to reorganize itself to match. The change doesn't happen all at once. It begins with small shifts. You start noticing that when you feel aligned, things go smoother. Ideas flow, you meet the right people, synchronicities increase. Your intuition sharpens. That's not coincidence. That's resonance. Your energy is finally in tune with the outcomes you desire. And when that happens, it's no longer about pushing or forcing. It's about attracting, because the vibration you emit is calling back to you everything that matches. This is why gratitude is so powerful. When you feel grateful before the thing arrives, you're sending a signal that it already exists. And the field mirrors that certainty. This is why love heals, because it elevates your frequency instantly. This is why joy multiplies, because it attracts more reasons to keep feeling it. Your emotional state is not just a reflection of your circumstances, it's the driver of them. And if you've ever wondered why it feels so hard to change, it's because most people try to change their lives from the outside in. They chase new results while carrying the same old vibration. But true transformation starts from the inside out. Shift your energy, and your world shifts with it. That's not a metaphor. That's quantum alignment. And once you understand it, once you feel it working in real time, there's no going back to the old way of living. Because you'll know, deep down, that reality isn't fixed. It's fluid. It's listening. It's responding to you. And once you truly grasp that reality is responding to you, not to your surface-level thoughts, but to the emotional frequency you hold beneath them, you start to pay attention in a completely different way. You begin to notice the subtle alignments, the moments that feel too perfect to be random. A friend you were just thinking about suddenly sends you a message. An idea you casually mentioned shows up in your newsfeed. A conversation overheard in passing holds the exact words you needed to hear. These aren't coincidences. They're synchronicities, visible signs of the invisible threads that connect your internal state to the external world. This is quantum entanglement in motion, showing you that your mind is not separate from your reality. It's woven into it. When you start raising your vibration, these kinds of moments become more frequent. You don't chase clarity anymore. It arrives. You don't force opportunities. They find you. The more aligned your subconscious becomes with your desired future, the more often you find yourself at the right place, at the right time, with the right energy to receive what you've asked for. And the best part, it begins to feel normal. What once seemed like a lucky break starts to feel like a natural rhythm. Life begins to flow, and you realize you've stopped living in reaction. You're living in resonance. But here's where most people get tripped up. Because right at the point when things begin to shift, when the signs start showing up and your vibration starts rising, the universe does something unexpected. It tests you, not in the way most people think, not as some cosmic punishment or spiritual obstacle. It's more like a recalibration, a moment to measure the strength of your new frequency. You set an intention for abundance, and then an unexpected bill shows up. You declare that you're done with toxic relationships, and suddenly someone from your past returns. You decide you're going to take control of your health, and then you hit a week of low energy and resistance. It feels like sabotage, but it's not. It's alignment being tested. This happens because energy doesn't just shift once and stay there. It has to be stabilized. And every test you face is really a question from the universe. Are you sure? Are you really done with the old version of you? Or are you going to fall back into those same emotional reactions? Are you truly aligned with this new outcome? Or are you just hoping for it when things feel easy? Because alignment isn't proven in comfort. It's proven in challenge. Anyone can feel abundant when money flows in. But can you feel abundant when it doesn't? Can you hold that new vibration when the old pattern knocks on your door, dressed in a new disguise? These moments of contrast aren't setbacks, they're checkpoints. They're not meant to break your spirit, but to show you how solid your new frequency really is. Every reaction is a message to the field. If you respond with fear, the field reads it as not ready. If you respond with confidence, the field adjusts to meet your certainty. The energy you hold when things don't go your way matters more than the energy you hold when they do. That's what determines whether you stay stuck in the same cycles or finally rise beyond them. This is why most people never break free, because the moment the universe asks for confirmation, they revert. They respond to the test with the same energy that created their past, and then wonder why nothing changes. But if you can stay aligned, stay calm, stay steady when things get uncomfortable, you start to rewrite the signal your subconscious is sending. And as that signal stabilizes, your external world has no choice but to follow. It's not magic, it's coherence. So when those unexpected challenges show up, when things seem to fall apart right as you're building something new, pause, breathe, recognize the pattern. This is your opportunity to respond as the new version of you. The version that trusts. The version that knows. The version that's no longer ruled by the old emotional blueprint. The universe isn't denying your desires. It's asking for emotional proof. Not just that you want change, but that you're already being the person who lives that change. And when you pass that test, when you hold the frequency through discomfort, everything begins to accelerate. Momentum builds, synchronicities multiply. What once seemed far away starts arriving with speed and clarity. The right people appear. Resources line up. Ideas become execution. And it feels effortless, not because life suddenly became easy, but because you finally stopped resisting your own energy. You finally stopped sending mixed signals to the universe. You're no longer saying one thing and vibrating another. You're no longer hoping while secretly doubting. You're aligned, locked in, clear. And that's when life begins to mirror your true potential. Not the version you were taught to be, not the version shaped by fear or doubt, but the version that's always existed beneath the programming. The version that's connected to the field, entangled with possibility, alive with purpose. This is what happens when you understand that the universe isn't something outside of you. It's something you're shaping, with every breath, every thought, and every emotion you choose to carry forward. And once you cross that threshold, once your vibration remains steady even when tested, you unlock something most people never access. A kind of inner gravity, a field of energy that doesn't just influence your life. It begins to pull reality toward you. And it all starts with one thing: reprogramming your subconscious mind. Not just temporarily shifting how you feel, but permanently altering the baseline frequency you live from. Because that's the source of your signal. That's the origin of the vibration that shapes your external experience. You can't fake it. You can't talk your way into a new life if your subconscious is still tuned to the old one. The quantum field doesn't respond to the words you say. It responds to the energy you are. So how do you do it? How do you change that deep, underlying code? You begin with consistency. The subconscious doesn't change through intensity. It changes through repetition. Think of it like a radio station. If you've been tuned to 89.1 your whole life, you can't expect to suddenly hear the music of 107.5 just because you said a few affirmations. You have to stay tuned to the new frequency long enough for the old signal to fade out. This means visualizing your desired reality not once, not when it's convenient, but every day. Not as a fantasy, but as an emotional rehearsal. You feel it, embody it, breathe it. You teach your nervous system what it feels like to already be that version of you. And as you do, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. And once it accepts, it transmits. And once it transmits, the quantum field reflects it right back. Meditation becomes your gateway, not as a practice of silence, but as a tool of alignment. When you enter a meditative state, your brain drops into theta, the same frequency where the subconscious is most receptive. That's where you rewire. That's where you install new beliefs. You visualize wealth as if it's already flowing. You feel love as if it already surrounds you. You embody peace as if it's already your home base. The longer you hold those feelings, the more the subconscious records them. And the more it records, the more your body, your choices, and your energy begin to align with that new reality. And it's not just about what you feel in meditation. It's about what you do in your life. Your actions must match your frequency. You can't say you believe in abundance and then act from fear. You can't say you want love and then keep choosing relationships that reflect your wounds. Every decision you make is either reinforcing your old vibration or affirming your new one. That's why alignment is a lifestyle, not a practice. It's how you think, how you speak, how you invest your time, your money, your attention. Everything is energy. Everything you do is casting a vote for the version of you you're becoming. And the more your actions match your new identity, the more the universe calibrates around that identity like a mirror, finally finding the right angle to reflect your true self. And then something wild happens. You no longer need to manifest. You are the manifestation. You don't visualize to attract. You visualize to remember, to stay in tune, to stay clear. Because you now live from a different energetic point of origin. You don't just hope for alignment, you walk in it. You no longer need to search for signs because your whole life becomes one. People notice the shift. They feel your energy before you speak. You stop needing to prove yourself. You stop needing to chase. You radiate. And that radiation pulls in the experiences, relationships, and opportunities that were always waiting for you to match their frequency. But the final shift, the one that locks this in at the deepest level, is surrender. Not giving up, but letting go. Letting go of control. Letting go of how it happens, when it happens, and what exact shape it needs to take. Because here's the paradox of the quantum field. The more you chase something, the more you signal that you don't have it. And that frequency of lack keeps it out of reach. But when you trust, fully, deeply, energetically, that what you desire is already set in motion, you step into a space of magnetism that nothing can interfere with. The universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to certainty. And that certainty becomes your anchor. You begin to move differently. You act as if it's already done. Not pretending, not forcing, just being. If you already had the success, how would you walk into the room? If you already had the love, how would you show up to the date? If you already had the abundance, how would you make decisions today? Start living like that version of you. Because when you do, the field begins to organize around that frequency with perfect precision. It may not look like what you expected. It may not arrive on your timeline, but it will come in the most aligned, efficient, and elevated way possible. Because the quantum field has access to infinite paths. Your job is not to dictate the route. Your job is to hold the vibration. And yes, there will be moments when doubt creeps back in, when the old patterns whisper that it's not working, that it's taking too long, that maybe this is just another dream that doesn't come true. But in those moments, remember, the test always comes before the breakthrough. The darkness always precedes the dawn. Your only task is to hold the frequency through it, to breathe, to stay in the knowing, to act like it's already done, even when your senses tell you otherwise. Because the moment you drop into fear, you reinforce the old signal. But the moment you hold your power, you confirm to the universe, I'm ready, I'm aligned, I'm already there. And when you hold that vibration long enough, consistently enough, courageously enough, something extraordinary begins to happen. Life stops happening to you and starts happening through you. You stop seeing yourself as a reactor and step into your role as a co-creator. The world begins to respond to your frequency in ways that defy logic, bypass limitation, and stretch beyond anything you thought was possible. And you realize, perhaps for the first time, that the power you've been searching for was never outside you. It was within you, broadcasting silently, waiting to be remembered, waiting to be claimed. And now that you've remembered who you are, what you're capable of, and how the universe really works, there's nothing left to chase. There's only alignment. There's only the field. And there's only the frequency you choose to live from, starting now. So now the question is no longer if the universe responds to you. It's how you're choosing to show up in that conversation. You are already connected, already entangled, already influencing reality with every thought you think, every emotion you hold, and every belief you refuse to let go of. The only thing left is to decide who you truly want to be and start vibrating from that truth today. Not someday, not when it's convenient, right now. Because the moment you align your subconscious with your highest self, the moment your energy becomes consistent with the life you desire, the universe has no choice but to respond. It's not a matter of luck, it's a matter of frequency. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So step into that energy. Own it. Live it. Let your life become proof that the invisible is more real than we ever imagined. If this message resonated with something deep inside you, it's because a part of you already knows it's true. You're not here to survive. You're here to create, to awaken, to lead. And your next level isn't waiting on anyone else. It's waiting on your vibration. If you're ready to live in alignment, to embody the energy of the reality you know is meant for you, declare it. Say it out loud. Write it down. Comment below. I am aligned with the energy of my highest self, because your words are a signal. Your intention is a command. And the moment you choose to align, your transformation begins.